Greetings, mighty companions. Anna Kujawa here, and this is Practical and Healing Applications of a Course in Miracles that we always do on Mondays here in our amazing living room, also known as Michael's Hall, the yoga studio here at Villa de Angel.
And dance hall.
And dance hall, yeah, so many things. This living room is amazing. So, what we're going to do, what we always do on Mondays, is we start with an opening meditation. Hi, Carolina and Maya. We're going to start with an opening meditation just to make contact and initiate some communication with our higher self, and maybe even listen to see if it has anything to say to us. As you know, I'm sure it's been just waiting to communicate with us. And then we will see what our higher self chooses through the random number generator for us to read from A Course in Miracles. All right, you guys know the drill. So here we go. We're going to tune in for a few minutes. All right, so if you haven't already, close your eyes and take a breath. Just let go of your day. Let go of the thoughts that might be occupying your conscious mind. Let go of anything that's not happening right here, right now. Telling yourself the past is over, it can touch me not, and the future has not happened yet. But all that I need for peace and comfort and healing and abundance is here right now within me. And breathe. And when your mind wanders to the past or the future, gently bring it back home by saying, now, now, only now. What's happening now? Who am I now? This is our opportunity to really love our minds and love ourselves and our minds enough to actually let them come back home to the now, so that our minds can rest and actually open to the power and the presence and the possibilities that live in the now. Feel the vastness of the inner space within you, feeling the limitless power and possibilities that live within you right now, that are present right now in the present. And breathe. And as you tune your awareness like a dial on the radio to the present moment, see if you can detect or perceive that presence that abides in the present. Feel for it with your inner senses. Feel the presence that lives within you in your quiet, infinite, eternal insides, the center of your being. What does the real you really feel like? If you are not a body, what are you? Breathe it in. Open your heart to that which dwells within you forever, loving you unconditionally forever, knowing you forever. Open your heart to your real self that lives within you, feeling its power, feeling its unconditional love for you. Feeling its one desire for your happiness. And to this, our inner being that is infinitely loving and infinitely wise, let's ask it to decide for us what in A Course in Miracles that we hear in this particular session. We say to our higher self, a divine intelligence within, we give you this healing circle, this time and space that we are coming together to hear your voice, your wisdom, your guidance. We give it to you and ask you to decide for us, for our healing, for our peace, for our joy, and above all, for our happiness, our inheritance as children of God. Decide for us. Be you in charge. And thank Beautiful. So when you're ready, take a breath. Open your eyes. Bringing your awareness back to the room. Beautiful. Hi, Aklak. Love your name. How beautiful. I hope I didn't say it wrong. Nice to meet you, Aklak. Hi, Susan. Hi, Patty. Patty says hi to you all. All right. And Patty, send our love to Rose if she's around. Just tell her we send our love. Always thinking about you guys. All right. Okay. Wow. That felt so good. That felt so good. Okay. Here we go. Sabrina, would you? Girl is so on it. 29. 29. 29 is fine. All right. And then let's look to see how many sections there are in 29. I'm going to look in the blue book today, just because most of you have that, and it seems easy. So in 29, there are 9 sections. And so I'm going to put this in. So you guys, just so you know, we do random number generators, so we let the never random generator choose. You let Spirit choose through the random number generator what in A Course in Miracles. So Greg, will you touch the randomize button? Okay, I want you all to touch the randomize button through Greg, okay? Ready? Got your finger ready? Okay, and it is section 9. And beautiful. And so that is the forgiving dream. So we are in chapter 29, section 9. And in the blue covered edition, it's 622. Oh, actually, I need to find it in here. So, and if one of you would be willing to write in the comment section, chapter 29, section 9. Let me get into the right book here. All right. It might take me a moment. So, chapter 29, section 9. Let's go to the table of contents. And what is it called? The forgiving dream. Ah, the forgiving dream. Okay, that is a dream that's full of forgiveness. A forgiving dream is going to be an experience in a life that's full of mercy and compassion and grace and ease and abundance and flow and friends. Okay, we're talking about a forgiving dream. You could also say a forgiving life. Okay, so that's what we're going to hear about. Oh, Carol says that's right. Carol reminded me. We're going to do the Christmas section. Thank you, Carol, for reminding me. Okay, so now let's go to chapter 15. So don't put that in. We're going to do, Carol just reminded me we're doing the Christmas section. Okay, good. Thank you, Carol. You see, I couldn't remember that. Okay. So the Christmas section is chapter 15, section 11. All right. Right on. Okay. So thank you very much, Carol. Very good. I need all the help I can get in remembering what we are doing. All right, here we go. So Christmas as the end of sacrifice. And this section absolutely 100% just picks up where Greg and I left off last night in our class about what is real love, what is a real relationship, and this section just absolutely picks up right where we left off. So it's just a perfect segue, the perfect continuing. Okay, here we go. All right, everybody ready? Hi, Peter. Lovely to see you too. Okay, now, Carol, will you also put in the comment section, chapter 15, section 11, so that people know where we're at in this. Thank you. Okay, first line is a instruction, a directive. First line is, fear not to recognize the whole idea of sacrifice as solely of your making. Merry Christmas. You're welcome. Okay, first sentence is, don't be afraid to do what? To recognize that the whole idea of sacrifice is solely of our making. Okay, so what does that mean? It means the instruction first is, don't be afraid to look at where it is that you believe that you've got to give up something or lose something in order to have love, in order to have peace, in order to have it all. Don't forget that you are the only one who is believing that you can't have it all. You are the only one who is making it up that in order to have all love, all peace, all joy, all abundance, that you have to sacrifice something. So don't be afraid to realize that you are the only one making it up about how you can't have it all, and how to have love are going to have to give up something. Okay? Don't be afraid to look at the fact that it's you. You're the only one saying, well, I can't have real love unless I give up myself or my freedom or what's right for me. Okay? You're the only one who's making it up that you can't have peace until you get your degree, or change this person you're in a relationship with, or have a relationship with a different person, or have a different body, or have a different job. Okay, we are the only ones who are deciding that we can't have it all. We got to sacrifice something in order to have something that we want. Okay, and it says, don't be afraid. So wherever it is that you have an upset going on, that is where there is a belief that you have to give something up and lose something that you want in order to have something better. And so wherever you're upset, that's a place where you are demanding sacrifice of yourself, or that's where you are demanding sacrifice of somebody else. Okay? And that in the special or the ego-dominated relationship, that's the relationship where we are demanding that they give up something in order to be with us, or where we're demanding that we give up something in order to be with them. That is the special relationship, as A Course in Miracles calls it. And the Course in Miracles says that we have so tied up love and sacrifice that we can't even conceive of love at this time without sacrifice. Okay? And what it's saying, what it's going to go on to tell us here is, don't forget that real love, real peace, real relationships do not make demands of anything. Love doesn't make demands. Peace doesn't make demands. Only we make demands, because we are the only ones who are making it up that love demands sacrifice of some kind. Okay, great. That's love. I mean, that's sentence number one. And then it says another direction, and don't seek safety by attempting to protect yourself from where sacrifice is not. Okay. So first, don't be afraid to realize that the idea of sacrifice is solely of your making, and stop protecting yourself from where sacrifice is not. Okay, where is sacrifice not? It's not coming from God, and it's not coming from others. That's where the demand of sacrifice is not coming from. It's coming only from us who have made up that lie that you can't have it all and love demands sacrifice. Okay, beautiful. And it says, your brothers and your sisters and your Creator has become very fearful to you. Right, of course. If you believe that love demands sacrifice, then how could you not be afraid of everybody? How could you not be afraid of anybody that that you say you love, or that they say they love you? If you believe love demands sacrifice, and peace demands sacrifice, and freedom demands sacrifice, then how are you not going to be afraid of all your relationships? Okay? If love demands sacrifice, then the more you so-called love somebody, guess what? That means the more sacrifice you got to pay, the more demand for sacrifice is on you. Wow. And since we have projected the demand for sacrifice onto them and onto God, we are trying to bargain with the people we're in relationships with for a few special relationships. And what's a special relationship? That's a relationship in which you think you see some scraps of safety. Wow. So if you believe that love demands sacrifice, then you're going to believe that all of your relationships demand sacrifice. And so what are you going to be doing in all your relationships? You're going to be bargaining with them. You're going to be negotiating. You're going to be doing sacrifice negotiating. All right. To have love, I'm going to have to give up some of me. You're going to have to give up some of you. So how much are you going to give up of yourself? And how much then am I going to give up of myself? And is that a fair bargain? Okay. Oh, I'm sacrificing more of myself than you're sacrificing of yours. It's not fair right now. So now we have conflict. But as long as you believe that love and freedom demands sacrifice, that's all you're going to be doing in your relationships, is just doing the sacrifice negotiating, the bargaining. All right. And in the name of what? In the name of safety. Okay. I'm going to have to give up something, right? I'm going to have to give up something, but I don't want to be alone. And so in the name of safety, quote safety, I'm going to have to figure out and negotiate what I have to give up, okay, so that I don't lose the relationship. Okay, everybody got that? All right. Doesn't seem like it's starting off as a Christmas section, does it? Okay, here we go. All right. Hi, Gia. Lovely to see you. Hi, Bridget. Okay, and if you're just joining us, we are in chapter 15, section 11, and it is called Christmas as the End of Sacrifice. Okay, so then it goes, do not try longer to keep apart your thoughts and the thought that has been given you. And when your thoughts and the thought that's been given you are brought together and perceived where they are in your mind, the choice between your thoughts, sacrifice, and truth thoughts is nothing more than a gentle awakening, and as simple as opening your eyes to daylight when you have no more need of sleep. That's how easy it is to decide between your belief system based on demand of sacrifice for love and the thoughts of truth which have been given you. And when you bring together your old thought system based on sacrifice and the new thought system of truth given you, and you look at them where they are, both of them in your mind, then the choice between which thought system you want will be just as nothing more than a gentle awakening, and as easy as opening your eyes to daylight when you have no more need of sleep. It won't be difficult to choose anymore when you see those two thought systems together. Okay? And what are the two thought systems? One thought system is love and peace demand sacrifice. If you want to have some love, you're going to have to give up something. And so all your relationships are that, the negotiating of the sacrifice. And then the thought system where love demands no sacrifice and love is something that you don't need to get and you don't need to take and you don't have to worry about losing because it's what you are. Those are the two thought systems. And when you bring them together and see them where they are in your mind, no problem choosing which one of those that you want. Okay? Beautiful. Hi, Julie. Same to you. All right, now it's going to talk to us about Christmas. Everybody ready for the Course in Miracles Christmas story?
Yeah.
It's very different. I bet you never heard this Christmas story before. It's very, very different. Okay, finally, an updated Christmas story. How about it? Okay, it says, the sign of Christmas is a star. That's right, we get that, yes. The sign of Christmas is a star. What's a star? A light in darkness. Then it says, don't see that star, that light in darkness outside of yourself, but see it shining in the heaven within you, which means accept this sign, this star, this light in the darkness, see it as the sign that the time of Christ has come. That's what it means. Now, and then what is Christ? The Course in Miracles defines Christ not as a person that lived 2,000 some odd years ago. Course in Miracles defines the Christ as ourself, as God created ourself. So our true self, our higher self. Okay? The Course in Miracles says the truth is that you remain exactly as God created you. We remain exactly as God created you, as God created us. That's the truth about us. And the way that God, who is love, created us, that is what our true self is. And of course, in Miracles defines that as the Christ. So what is the Christ? It's your true self. It's my true self as I was created and as I remain. And our true self is not a body. God didn't create the body, but God did create our true self. And what's our true self? It's a light in the darkness. That's what our true self is. And so the star, the light in the darkness, the symbol of Christmas, is just the sign, it's just the symbol that the time of your true self, you accepting your true self, that time has come. Okay? It's going to happen eventually, and Christmas is the sign that that time has come. It's time to be yourself again. It's time, the time has come to be yourself, the Christ within you, instead of the body, the guilty body that is born and flourishes and then withers and dies. Okay? Now, your true self, the Christ in you, your true self comes demanding nothing. Wow. To be my true self, to experience my true self, demands nothing. That's right. Your real self comes back to your awareness demanding nothing. Okay? You'll know your true self has come back because it comes back saying, you're perfect as you are right now. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to pay for anything. You don't have to change. You just be yourself because it's perfect the way it was created. That's what the Christ in you comes saying. That's what the Christ in you returns saying. Just be yourself. You're perfect as you are. You were created by God, and you remain as you were created by God. You don't need to change. You don't need to change anything. You don't need to wait anything. Bridget says, no sacrifice, hallelujah. Hallelujah, just be myself again. That's the real message of Christmas, that the time has come for you to awaken to the Christ in you, which is your true self, which is how you were created to be. Okay? You can't run from yourself forever. So eventually you are going to remember who you really are. And so how about now? How about now? Okay? Great. Now, what does it mean to say that when my true self comes back to my awareness, it comes demanding nothing? What it means is no sacrifice of any kind, of anyone, is asked by real love, your real self, the Christ in you, or the Christ in anyone else. Wow. That's how you can tell the difference between your real self, real love, and fake love, called fear. How can you tell fake love? How can you tell the difference between real love and fake love? Or how can you tell the difference between real God and fake God? Okay, real God, real love, your real truth comes that no sacrifice is demanded of real love, of real God. Okay? And fake God and fake love, what does it do? Oh, it demands a lot of sacrifice. That's what it's all about. Fake love is all about, are you going to sacrifice for me? You going to sacrifice for me? Who's going to sacrifice for me the best? And who can I tolerate sacrificing for? Okay? And whoever we can make the best bargain with, that's who we got the special relationship with. Okay? That's how you can tell the difference between real love and fake love. Real God and fake God. Okay? Beautiful. And it's reminding us that you don't need to change anything or lose anything to be that which you are. That which you were created to be. You were created to be that eternally. And because you were created that and created that eternally, you don't need to do anything to get it. You don't need to do anything to become it at all. You don't have to wait until you get that degree. You don't have to wait till you get that relationship. You don't have to wait till you accomplish that diet. You don't have to wait till you have more money. You don't have to give up anything. You don't have to change anything to be who and what you are, which is a light in the darkness. You are a light. You are the light of the universe. The Course in Miracles says your innocence is the light that lights up heaven. Okay? That you are a glorious creation of a glorious creator. And to be what you are, you don't have to sacrifice anything. You don't have to change anything. That's what it means to sacrifice anything. I gotta change this, and I gotta figure out that, and I gotta go get some of this, and I gotta wait for that. That's what it means. The belief that you have to sacrifice something to have and be all love. All right, beautiful. Bridget goes, now that is freedom. That's exactly right. That is exactly right. Okay. Now it says, and so in real love's presence, or in the presence of your true self, the whole idea of sacrifice loses all meaning, because who you really are is host to God, and you need but invite the Christ in you in, who is there already. Okay? So you know how like Christmas is all about Christ, the Christ, right? I mean, it's Christ Mass. Like, you know, you think of it as Spanish, mas means more, Christ mas, but it's all about Christ. Now, what we learned is that Christ was a person outside of ourselves who was demanding a lot of sacrifice for us to be perfect like that person was, right? Okay. This is saying the exact opposite, that the Christ is in you. The Christ is in you, and the Christ in you is just waiting for you to acknowledge it as you. Oh, I am the Christ. The Christ is in me. I see. Oh, that's what's going on. I'm the host of God. The Christ in me is the child of God that God has created perfect forever. Okay, so that's what we're being asked to do here. Recognize that the Christ is already within us now. That's who we are. Okay? Now it says, and by recognizing that God's host is one, and that no thought alien to God's oneness can abide with him there. All right. Love must be total to give your real self welcome, because the presence of holiness creates the holiness that surrounds that presence. And no fear can touch you, the host who cradles God in the time of Christ. Because the host of God is as holy as the perfect innocence which it protects and whose power protects him. Okay, so what does that mean? Okay, that sounds like a lot of spiritual gobbledygook, doesn't it? What it means to me is that when you recognize that you are the host to holiness itself, and that holiness, the holiness of the Christ, it lives within you. You're the manger. You're the manger that cradles the Christ. You are the one who protects the perfect child of God. That's you. You are that manger. And you who are host to such holiness within you, without even having to change one thing about you. If you are carrying something that holy within you, then guess what? You must be holy, and holiness must surround you. And that's what A Course in Miracles is telling us. That's so hard to believe. There's holiness in you. You are the host of God himself. God lives within you. The Christ lives within you. And that's just the facts. That's not if you become holy. That's not if you change and become innocent and holy. That's the facts now. That's the way God created you to be. God created holiness and created you as that. That's what I think that is saying.
Are you saying God didn't create us to be unholy?
Yes, exactly. We learned that holiness is something that you got to sacrifice a lot for. I mean, you look at the saints. They kind of all lived tortured lives, you know? They were alone. They were tortured. They were persecuted, right? So we learned that, and for sure, if you're going to be holy, a holy person, a saint, you could not do any of the things you enjoy. You got to sacrifice all the things that you enjoy doing, right? We were taught that to be holy, you got to sacrifice everything that you enjoy and that you love to do.
You got to walk in the desert for 40 years
You gotta,
and nights before you can make it to that.
Exactly. You got to walk in the desert. You got to go wherever God tells you to go. You got to, and usually that you got to go it alone, right? So that's what we learned about what it means to be holy. You know, you certainly just can't be yourself. I mean, that's obvious, you know. You got to change yourself. You got to rid yourself of your guilt. You got to rid yourself. You got to atone for those sins. You got to change your wicked ways if you want to be holy, is what we learned. And of course, in Miracles is saying you were created holy, And you were created holy by the one who creates perfectly and forever. So there ain't nothing you can do to change your holiness, your guiltlessness, your innocence, your wholeness. Right? That's what A Course in Miracles. And the Course in Miracles is saying we are holy because we were created holy, and God lives in us. Course in Miracles calls us the host of God. Like that God lives in us is what A Course in Miracles is teaching us. And if God lives in you, doesn't that mean that you're holy? Right? And what it's teaching us is that your holiness is just built in. That's where you were created to be, and there's no change in that. And you're holy because God lives in you. And the way God created God's creation to be, that's you, as you are right now and forevermore. And you don't have to give up anything to become that. You don't have to sacrifice anything to become that. Really, to be as holy as you were created to be, the host of God, is just to accept yourself as you were created to be. Accept it. Accept the truth. Beautiful. Maria, no, we're in the blue covered edition. We're in the Foundation for Inner Peace edition. And so thank you for asking. So it's chapter, in the blue covered edition, chapter 29, section, chapter 15, section 11. 15:11. All right. Okay. Beautiful. I just saw that paragraph in a new way today. So here we go. Now it's going to it just told us the facts about the season. It said what the season is about. It said it said Christmas is, the sign of Christmas is a star, a light in darkness. And it said, don't see that star outside of yourself. Okay. And it was saying that you are the holy host. You are the manger into which God, the Christ, is born, has been born. You are holiness. You are as holy as the holiness that lives within you. Okay, now it tells us how to really celebrate Christmas in such a way that we experience the real meaning of it. Okay, so you're ready for a new Christmas tradition?
If anybody's looking for it in the annotated, it's section 15, number...
Chapter 15.
10.
Okay. If you're looking for it,
paragraph 9.
thank you. If you're looking for it in the annotated edition, it's chapter 15, section 9,
10.
section 10, paragraph 9.
But we're on moving on paragraph
But
11.
we're moving into paragraph 11 in the annotated. Thank you. Okay. This is how A Course in Miracles describes how to celebrate Christmas in such a way that you really get the reason for the season. Okay? Here you go. Paragraph 3 in the FIP version. This Christmas, give to your higher self, the Holy Spirit, everything that would hurt you. Oh. So it's like, we were like, well, I'm supposed to be getting presents on Christmas. You're asking me to give you a present. And a present, higher self, you're asking me to give you the present of whatever would hurt me, whatever is hurting me. Why is that? Why, a higher self, are you asking me to give you gifts? Okay, I thought I was supposed to get some gifts. So it says, this Christmas, give to the Holy Spirit everything that would hurt you. Which means, let yourself be healed completely, that you may join with Spirit in healing. And then let us celebrate our release together by releasing everyone with us. And don't leave anything behind. Don't leave anything out that hurts you, because release from what hurts you is total. And when you have accepted release from what hurts you, then you're going to give release from hurt with me. Okay, so he's saying that this Christmas, Spirit wants you to give it everything that's hurting you, so that you can be healed, so that you can then join with Spirit in giving release from hurt to others, joining with Spirit in doing that. Now that is the way, the real way to celebrate Christmas. That's the real reason of the season. Okay, so the instruction is give to your higher self everything that hurts you. Great. What is those things that are hurting us that Spirit is asking us to give to it? Okay, well, one expression of that is wherever it is, that which is hurting me is all the places where I'm believing that I can't have it all, where I have to like sacrifice something for holiness, where I have to sacrifice something for love. That's the place. Those are the things that are hurting me. You know, I can't have the life I love and do the work I love unless I get this degree. I can't do that which I want to do because I have this job I have to do to pay the rent. I can't be free and happy because I have this obligation that I have to meet. I have this sacrifice that I have to make, and that's why I can't be free and happy. I can't be myself fully and completely because I'm in this relationship where I can't be myself. I can't have the career or the life I want because I have these bills. Okay, these are all the places where we are believing that we have to sacrifice and give up something to have little scraps of safety and security. Anybody recognize that? Okay. Wherever it is that I believe that I have to give up something in order to have some scraps of security, you better believe those are the places in my life that I don't feel good about myself. And this section is saying those are the things that we're hurting ourselves with. All those beliefs that I have to give up what makes me happy in order to have some scraps. Not even like full security, just scraps of safety and security. Okay? That hurts. That hurts. That's what hurts us. And in this section, it's saying that Spirit is saying, please give me those beliefs. Please give me those lies where you're telling yourself that you can't have the life you want to have or the relationship you want to have. You can't be free to do what makes you happy because because these are the sacrifices you have to make to have some scraps of safety and security. Please give me those lies. Please give me those beliefs, says Spirit, so that I can take those lies, those beliefs, and show you that who you really are. To be who and what you really are, you don't need to give up anything. You can have it right now. You can be it right now. There is a way for you to be your true self and have a life that comes from your true self without sacrificing your safety and security. Now, you don't know how to do it. We know that. Or else you would have done it already. Okay? If you knew how to be fully and completely yourself and live a life where you're true to your real self completely, then that's what you'd be doing. You wouldn't be making the bargain, you wouldn't be doing the sacrifice, negotiating with all your relationships for a few scraps of safety and security. If you knew that you can have it all, you can be your full self, be true to your true self, and live a life that expresses that fully, without having to sacrifice, your safety and security. So these are the things that hurt us. These are the beliefs that we're limiting ourselves with. These are the beliefs that we're limiting ourselves with and hurting ourselves with. Spirit says, please give me those beliefs so that you can be healed of those beliefs, so that you can be happy being your true self and having a life that reflects that. And when you're doing that, now you'll be able to help Spirit help other people to do that. And that's what Spirit is asking. That's what your higher self is asking. That's what the Christ in you is asking you for this Christmas, because this Christmas, it wants to give you the ultimate gift of you being true to yourself and having a life that is true to your real self. You know how it is? It's like, well, here's my true self, and my life doesn't reflect it at all. That's what seems to pass as normal in this world. So, and it says, okay, so great. So that was paragraph 3. Oh no, we didn't finish paragraph 3. It says, when you have accepted this healing that we've been talking about, it says, then all your pain, which means all your sacrifice, which means all your littleness, will disappear in your relationship with Spirit, the Christ in you. Your relationship with your higher self, which is as innocent as our relationship is with our Creator and as powerful. Wow. Okay, so when we give to our higher self all that's hurting us, all those demands for sacrifice that we believed that we were demanding of ourselves to be happy, and we give them to our higher self, then we're going to be healed of all our pain, our sacrifice, our littleness. It's going to completely disappear. Wow. And what we're going to be in is in a relationship with our higher self that is as powerful as our relationship with God. Woo! That's what's going to be left over after we've given to Spirit all of our own demand for sacrifice that we've been putting on ourselves and hurting ourselves with. Now, all those demand of sacrifice we're putting on ourselves, those are all the reasons we give ourselves for why we can't be true to our true self and go for that in our lives. All the reasons why I can't be truly myself, all the reasons why I've got to sacrifice myself just to be safe and secure in the world, in my relationships. I can't just be myself in my relationship. My relationship wouldn't be safe and secure then. Okay? They might leave. They might go away. I can't just be myself, and not sacrifice, with this crappy job, because then I might not have money to pay my bills. Okay. How do you feel about that thought? How do you feel about that belief? Does it feel good? No, it freaking hurts. That belief that if I be true to myself and have a life and go for a life that reflects that, then and not sacrifice with this job I hate, then I'll have no money, I won't be able to pay my bills, and me and my kids will starve. Okay. Course in Miracles is like reminding us that's a belief. That's a belief that you must sacrifice in order to have safety and security. And it's a belief, thank God, that is not true. Spirit knows that we're hurting ourselves with all of those beliefs in sacrifice. And Spirit saying, please give it to me so that I can correct those beliefs. And so that you can live your highest and best self and help other people to do the same. Okay, that's what Spirit's asking of us this Christmas season. Okay, and it says, and then in the relationship that we're in with our higher self, pain will be brought to us and disappear in our presence. And without pain, there can be no sacrifice. And without sacrifice, their love must be. Okay. Now, how are you guys doing out there?
Can you get all of this on Amazon?
Oh, yes. Actually, inner Amazon. Inner Amazon. Greg is on. Sabrina's on. Okay, great. Now we're on paragraph 4. Here we go. Another instruction. You who believe that sacrifice is love must learn that sacrifice is separation from love. What? Wait a minute now. Well, it knows that you don't believe that. That's why it said, you who believe that sacrifice is love must learn that sacrifice is not love. Sacrifice, the demand for sacrifice, whether it's of yourself or from another, is separation from love. So what's real and what's true about you demands no sacrifice. The love that Creator has for you and what Creator has given to you demands no sacrifice. You don't have to earn the love that you are. You don't have to earn the love and the abundance and the supply that comes from your source. Okay? Your loving source does not demand that you do anything, earn anything, sacrifice anything to receive all of its supply, all of its loving, eternal supply abundance. Okay? And it wants you to know, and it wants you to learn. It's saying we must learn that anything that demands sacrifice to give itself all fully to you is not love. It's not God. It's not source love at all. Why? Because sacrifice is something that brings guilt just as surely as love brings peace. As a matter of fact, guilt is the condition of sacrifice, just like peace is the condition for the awareness of your relationship with God. And through guilt, you're excluding your Creator and your brothers and your sisters from yourself. And through peace, you invite your brothers and sisters and God back, realizing that your brothers and your sisters and God are where your invitation bids them be. Wow. Okay. So what it's saying here is that here's how we know that the demand for loss and sacrifice isn't coming from God. Here's how we know. Because sacrifice brings guilt. That's how we know that the demand of sacrifice doesn't come from God. It doesn't come from love. So that's how we know. As a matter of fact, sacrifice is it says guilt is the condition for sacrifice. How do we know that? Because you would never consent to give up something if you weren't feeling guilty. Yeah, the only time you're like, okay, I gotta give up being myself and my freedom to have some love, or I gotta give up my freedom and what makes me happy to have some scraps of security. You would never, that would never cross your mind unless you were feeling guilty. Okay, and then what is guilty? What does feeling guilty mean? Feeling guilty means I really don't deserve it. That's what feeling guilty means. And unless you were having the belief that you don't deserve love, it would never occur to you to have to give up your peace and your happiness and your freedom for love, right? When you know you deserve love, you're not going to settle. When you know you deserve love, when you know you're worthy of love, when you know you're worthy of freedom, you're not going to just take a little, you're not going to settle and compromise with love when you know you deserve love. And guilt is the belief that you don't deserve full love. That's what guilt is. I don't really deserve full love. I don't really deserve love. I don't deserve to have somebody love me without demanding anything from me. You recognize that? I don't deserve that. I ain't that good. I'm not that pretty. I'm not that rich. Okay? That's what guilt is. Guilt is the condition for sacrifice. So, in other words, so when you feel guilty, you are literally demanding sacrifice of yourself. You are demanding that you must earn love and that you must earn a life where you are being yourself fully and being supported by the universe. Okay? That's what the universe wants to give you. That's what the universe wants for you. That's what love, God, has set up the universe to do. God, who only offers happiness to its creations, has set up a universe where that is fully supportive of all of creation. That's what the universe was set up to do. Okay, and the universe was set up where all you have to do is accept yourself as you were created to be. That's it. To receive all of the universe of supply and support. That's what the universe was set up to be. And unless you feel guilty and believe you don't deserve that, that's the only way that you could in any way, shape, or form believe that you can't just fully be yourself and be supported by an abundant universe. But that's what we believe, because that's what we were taught when we were little kids. You know, you don't deserve love and abundance and support just because of who you are. That's not what we learned. And so now we believe that we have to earn it, which is the same as saying we believe we have to sacrifice and give up something in order to kind of be worthy for a little bit of love and security. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. Let's take a breath on that one. Okay. Yeah. Beautiful. All right. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit just so that we can get to the prayer part that is the practical application of this section.
Rudolph the Red Nose.
All right. So I'm going to go back a little bit. Okay. I'm going to jump ahead to paragraph 8 so that we can get to the beautiful, powerful, practical application of these powerful ideas in this section. Okay? Now, so going to paragraph 8. Do not let any despair darken the joy of Christmas, because the time of Christ is meaningless apart from joy. What it's supposed to be about is joy. Okay, so how do you let no despair darken the joy of this time? Okay, in other words, how do you have real joy? Well, it's like this. Let us join in celebrating peace by demanding no sacrifice of anyone. Oh, because by doing so, by demanding no sacrifice of anyone, you offer me, says your higher self, the love I offer you. Okay? So the way that we make sure that this season and this time is only one of joy, which is supposed to be a season of joy, right? The only way to do that is to join with your higher self, the Christ in you, in demanding no sacrifice of anybody. Wow. Why? Because only then are we offering to the Christ in us the love that the Christ in us is offering us. In other words, I cannot accept the love of God, the way God loves me, with no questions asked, no demand for sacrifice, no demand that I earn it. I can't accept that kind of love if I'm not giving it. So I'm going to have to give the kind of love that God gives me if I'm going to believe that I deserve that kind of love. You know, I can say all day long, okay, God's love demands no sacrifice. God only gives, God never takes. God only has given me everything that's God's. I can say that all day long. But if I'm not offering that kind of love to others, I'll never believe I deserve that. So our higher self is teaching us how to give that kind of love, real love, the kind of love that demands no sacrifice to others, so that we can finally believe we deserve that kind of love that doesn't cost anything, that demands nothing for ourselves. Okay, great. And it says, and what can be more joyous than to perceive that we are deprived of nothing? What could be more joyous than that? I don't have to give up anything to receive everything. What could be more joyous that I don't got to change anything? I don't have to wait for anything. I don't have to atone for anything. I don't even have to purify myself. I don't have to make myself different or better. I don't have to make myself holy to receive everything. Wow, now that is good news. That is really good news. That means that we can receive all that love gives right now. This moment now, all of it right now. And what could be more joyous than to see that, to realize that? But he says, but that's the message. That's the message of Christmas. That's the message of the time of Christ. What's the message of Christmas? We are deprived of nothing. Whew. Let's just say that one for a moment. We are deprived of nothing. I am deprived of nothing. Dang. That's the real message of Christmas that Spirit is giving us, that we may give that message and return it to God who gave it to Spirit. Because in the time of Christ, Christmas, communication is restored, and Christ, our higher self, joins us in the celebration of our creation. Great. Now, that was paragraph 8. Okay, great. And now we're going on to paragraph 9. Yes, let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Actually, I'm going to now skip to paragraph 10. Hi, Trisha, you made it. Okay, here we go. Now we're skipping to paragraph 10, just so you know, okay? And Bridget says, I'm deprived of nothing. So we heard the real message of Christmas. And when you hear that message and you actually give that message, offer that message to others, that they are deprived of nothing. And how do we teach that? By demanding no sacrifice of anyone. That ensures that this is a joyous time. Hell, that makes any time a joyous time. Because anytime you release anyone from the demand of sacrifice, you learn that love isn't demanding any sacrifice of you to receive everything right now. All that love gives, all that the universe of love is offering to us. Okay, that's what makes any time a joyous time. Now, paragraph 10. So this is the time in which a new year will soon be born from the time of your higher self, your real self. And our teacher then says to us, I have perfect faith in you to do all that you would accomplish, which means nothing will be lacking, says our teacher to us. Nothing will be lacking, which means you will make complete and you will not destroy, is what our teacher is saying to us. It's like the Christmas blessing that our teacher is saying to us. I have perfect faith in you to do everything that you would accomplish. You're not going to be lacking in anything that you need in order to accomplish this thing that you're being asked to do. And you're not going to be lacking anything. You're going to make complete and you're not going to destroy. Okay? Good news. Now, to really accept that, say then to everyone. Okay? Say then to everyone, I give you to the Holy Spirit, my higher self, as part of myself. I know that you will be released unless I want to use you to imprison myself. So in the name of my freedom, I choose your release, so and so, because I recognize that we will be released together. Okay, so that is the prayer or the thought formula that we say to each other that essentially releases everybody from the demand of sacrifice. Because what was it saying? This year, it was saying the way to make this season joyous, the way to make any experience joyous, is to release everyone from the demand of sacrifice, right? That's what it was saying. And it was saying that we're being asked to give that gift to everyone so that we can finally accept that gift that's already been given by Source. Our Source has already given us everything. God has given us everything, all the power, eternal life, all the love, all the happiness, all the peace, all the joy, all of it, everything that's real, that's good, has already been given to us. But until we release others from the demand of sacrifice for our love, we're not going to believe we deserve the love of Source, which has given us everything and demands no sacrifice of us to receive that. Now, and then this prayer is the nuts and bolts, the mechanics of how you release someone from sacrifice. Okay, so let's say you are having an experience with somebody and you definitely feel like there's a demand to sacrifice going on because you don't like how you feel. Okay, you either feel like they are asking a sacrifice of you and so you have resentment, or you are demanding sacrifice of them by giving them guilt and telling them how they got to change to make you happy. Okay, and that's when you are in a situation like that where there's a demand of sacrifice going back and forth and you can tell because there's not peace, that's the time to say that prayer for that, on behalf of that person. It says say it to them, not to their face with your lips, but close your eyes and say it to who they really are. Okay, so you're not saying it to them in person. Okay, that's how you release people from the demand of sacrifice.
Which is how you give all your pain to your
Yes, thank you. Which is the same way that you get that enables your pain, your sorrow, your fear, all to disappear. Because where is all that pain coming from? From where the demand of sacrifice really is. In me, in my mind. I'm the one who's making that demand of sacrifice of myself or another.
Wow. So all these things that seem like they're keeping us from our fulfillment and enjoyment in life are the the sacrifices that are being kept before us to get there, but they're there because we're giving them to other people. We're demanding
Yes.
sacrifice of others to keep them from their joy.
Yes.
And so
Karma, exactly.
coming back to us
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
in the same form.
Exactly. Very good. Yeah, like the Course says, judgment is the setting of a price. And as you set that price, you're going to pay that price. So if you're telling them, you got to change to make me happy, you got to be different to make me happy, then guess what you're demanding of yourself? Now you're telling yourself the price for being happy is I got to change. You know, so if you're demanding that they sacrifice their innocence and their peace or whatever to receive your love, then that's what then you're not going to feel like you deserve love until you pay that price, that sacrifice as well. And so if you want to believe that you deserve to experience everything, the all that the loving universe is always offering to all of creation without cost, without demand for sacrifice, then you're gonna have to give it. And not because that's a sacrifice or a price you gotta pay, but it's just reason. You won't believe you deserve it unless you're giving it. That's just the way it is, you know? You're not going to believe you deserve anything until you yourself are giving it to others, right? If you're giving others guilt, you're not going to believe that you deserve release from guilt. And as soon as you offer release from guilt to others, only now will you believe you deserve release from guilt from others. It's a psychological law. Giving and receiving are one. And so it's telling us that the universe was set up to provide everything. Everything. The universe was set up so that creation need not toil. Doesn't have to sacrifice and toil in order to get a few little scraps of security. The universe is set up so that God's creation need not toil. God set up the universe so that all that God is and has is given to God's creations. No questions asked. No sacrifice demanded. No price to be paid. That's the way it is. That's reality. But until you see other people as worthy of that, until you release people from the demand that they pay for your love with guilt and sacrifice, then you'll never believe you deserve what's all around you. And even though you're all surrounded by abundance, you won't know it. You'll be like a fish in the ocean who is dying of thirst. That's what we are. We're like fishes in the ocean dying of thirst because we can't accept that water that nourishes us, that surrounds us, because we want to deprive other people of it. And every time you make a demand for sacrifice, which is guilt on another human being, you are telling yourself you don't deserve the universe of abundance and supply that surrounds you. Okay. So it says, and that's how the new year will begin in joy and freedom. Aha! That's how to begin a truly new year. What's a truly new year? That's a new year that is truly joyous and truly free. All right. That's how you begin a truly new year of joy and freedom. There is much to do, and we have been long delayed. So, accept this holy instant as this year is born, and take your place so long left unfulfilled in the Great Awakening. Make this year different by making it all the same which means let all your relationships made guiltless for you. This is our will. Amen. Beautiful. Isn't that beautiful? Releasing others from the demand of sacrifice so that you can accept all of the good of the universal supply that's being offered you all the time. That is how you take your place so long left unfulfilled in the Great Awakening. Okay? There's a Great Awakening afoot. I'm sure you noticed. Okay? There's a Great Awakening happening. And the Great Awakening is not complete until you take your part in it, until you take your place in it. And this is how you take your place in the Great Awakening so that it can finally be complete and extend to all of creation. When you take your part, your place in the Great Awakening. And until you are releasing others from the demand of sacrifice that your guilt and fear would make of them, until you're doing that, you will suffer from the dim awareness that your part in the Great Awakening is unfulfilled. You know that like free-floating, existential lack of fulfillment? That's what it is. I have a part in the Great Awakening that I'm not fulfilling, that I have left unfulfilled. And that's why I don't feel fulfilled. Why don't I feel fulfilled? Because I've left my part in the Great Awakening unfulfilled. Because I'm not releasing others from the demand of sacrifice. And so depriving myself of all the good and the abundance and the supply that is mine, that is offered me, that I really have, but that I'm demanding that I sacrifice. So don't be afraid to recognize where the demand of sacrifice really is and seek not to protect yourself from where the demand for sacrifice is not. If you're experiencing any kind of lack or loss, it is not because there's a lack or loss in the universe. It's not because God's mad at you. It's not because you're not good enough. It's because you're seeking to deprive that of others. You're demanding that others sacrifice all the love and all the innocence for love. All right. Beautiful. We finished that section, leaving a few paragraphs out. And so now, questions or comments? Beautiful. Bridget says, I am deprived of nothing. And Bridget says, love the prayer. Hi, KT. Okay. Thoughts, feelings on how to begin a truly new year that's full of joy and freedom. How to take your part so long left unfulfilled in the Great Awakening. Beautiful. By releasing everyone from the demand of sacrifice. Okay. Beautiful. Okay, you got the message of Christmas. Now we know how to really celebrate Christmas in a really meaningful way, which is so much more meaningful than, oh, here comes Christmas. I got to go out and get in debt and buy a bunch of stuff that people really don't need, that's really not going to make them happy, that I'll be paying on for months or years to come. Okay? Because that's what you do for people you love. You sacrifice. I mean, what we've made Christmas to be is like the ultimate sacrifice, right? Got to go buy things that you don't have the money for. Got to go do things that you don't really want to do, right? So Christmas has become completely synonymous with sacrifice. And so has the whole concept of Christ. I mean, come on. You know, we have completely projected the demand of sacrifice onto God, onto Christ, onto all that is holy, right? And this section really tells us the truth about holiness and the truth about the Christ in us. This section really tells us the truth about what God is, what God wants for us, and what God has given to all of us. And what could be more joyous than to realize that we are deprived of nothing because God has given us everything at no cost, under no conditions. What could be more joyous than that? So let's see if we can try to remember that. Okay, guys, that is that. Now I'm going to do announcements and just a quick closing integration meditation. So announcements are, Greg and I do 3 Course in Miracles classes a week. Sundays we do Transforming Relationships through A Course in Miracles. Monday, this class is Practical Applications of A Course in Miracles. Greg does his class on Tuesdays. And that's live on Facebook and here at Villa de Angel, 6 to 7:30 p.m. Central Time. Okay? And don't forget to check out my website, annakujawa.com, to learn more about my holistic counseling practice. And if you could use a Miracle Psychotherapeutic session, applying A Course in Miracles principles to whatever challenges you got going on in life, just find my phone number on my website and text me. Okay, so now we're going to do the integration meditation. Close your eyes and take a breath. And just breathe. All right. So now I want you to bring to your awareness, a relationship where there is conflict. There's not peace, there's not joy, there's not freedom right now. And I want you to bring that to your awareness. And I want you to see the person in your mind's eye. And I want you to say to this person, I give you, say their name, to the Holy Spirit as part of myself. I know that you will be released unless I want to use you to imprison myself to the demand of sacrifice. I know you will be released unless I want to use you to imprison myself with a lot of sacrifice. And now say to them, in the name of my freedom from sacrifice, I choose your release from all my demands of sacrifice. Because I recognize that we will be released from the demand of sacrifice together. And take a breath. And I want you to take a brief inventory to see where it is in your relationship that you were communicating to them, you need to lose, you need to sacrifice, you need to give up, you need to feel guilty in order to receive my love. Where is it that you demanded that they give up something to receive your love, or to be innocent, Where in this relationship have you been communicating silently, if you were different, I'd be happy? In other words, where is it that you have been giving them guilt? And take a breath. And now, looking within yourself, see that that's exactly where you have been believing that you didn't deserve complete love, complete abundance. See if you can see how you yourself have been believing that you don't deserve to have it all just because of who you are as a child of God. And so, saying to this person again, I release you from all demands of sacrifice that my ego has made of you. So that I might accept that I am entitled to all the love and abundance and freedom in the universe at no cost, with no sacrifice, myself. And then say to yourself, and now I am ready to take my place so long left unfulfilled in the great awakening. Here I am, Lord. Beautiful. Good job, guys. Way to do it. Way to release people from the demand of sacrifice. Go to the book, write down this prayer, and start using it when you are experiencing conflict with another person. Memorize it, use it, memorize, use it, because when you release people from the demand of sacrifice with this prayer, that's how you turn any situation, any relationship, any time in your life into a time of joy and freedom, where you allow yourself to be who you are freely and allow the universe to support you fully in that. This is how you do it. I love you guys so much. Thank you, Julie, so much. So good to see you. Thank you, Bridget. And hi, Demi. And I will see you guys next time I see you.